that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side. What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. We won't let the world back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
All right, I don't know how long the time has been going for, but welcome to the live stream. This is the return, the getting back to the live streaming world. Let me just tone down the music there so that we still have it, but generously right in the background. So thank you so much for joining. If you are new here, I'm guessing if you're joining us from LinkedIn, you're definitely new here. We do these things mainly over on YouTube. Today we are broadcasting in both places. So I hope that everything is going to be a success. Let's see how this goes. So greetings everybody. Let me know if you can see me, especially from the LinkedIn side, if you can hear me well. If the music is not too loud in the background, I'm gonna tone it down just a tad bit more for myself and for you guys as well. I like having it in the background so that I can pace myself as well. I'm super excited to be back at live streaming again. It's been a while since I haven't came out and did a live stream like this. There's a lot that has been happening within my professional life and my personal life as well. And yeah, I've just been trying to actually recalibrate and redefine what this space means, the Do Better UX space. Both if you join us on LinkedIn, you're probably part of the group or something like that. If you are just joining us on YouTube or you're watching this after the fact, you're probably a subscriber or something like that. And I wanted to take some time back because initially when I started this place, I was really excited to getting into the creative space, sort of like the creative content creation space, and just putting out great content out there, interacting with great minds and things like that. But I felt like I almost got lost somewhere down the line, so I sort of wanted to recalibrate myself and see what I wanted to do with this space. And this is what we have now, which is sort of like a restructured, a better thought space after recording podcasts and doing live streams for about a year and a bit now. I've come to learn a couple of things, and I think there is a lot of things that that I took time to readjust. But anyway, let me not get into the boring things. So this is a live design streaming session. As if you follow the channel, the content that we have here, we just had sort of like abstract shows and things like that, and this is just design chatting. It's one of the shows that we will be having over on this channel, and there will be a couple of other things that are a little bit more structured and looking at different styles and conversations on how to talk about different topics, etc., etc. So today's Just Design chatting session, we'll be talking about what has been happening, what is coming, and just how we are looking to sort of like shape this Do Better UX space that we have. So super excited to know if you're joining us from anywhere. I'm just gonna go in and start monitoring over on LinkedIn and actually see if okay, actually now I see that it says that it's live on my personal profile on LinkedIn. I have no idea if that is gonna work or how good that is working at the moment. If there are any folks joining us there, say hello. If you're joining us on LinkedIn, say hello there as well. Anywho, I will proceed with the talk of the day today. The talk of the conversation. Getting lost in my words there. So if you're just joining us, yeah, let us know where you are joining us from. I'm always curious to find out not only who is joining us, and who watches this piece of content. I'm also very curious of, sort of like what career stage are you in? Are you a UX designer? Are you a graphic designer, web designer? How do you define your role today? And how did you stumble upon this channel? How do you, um, I don't want to say what are you looking for here, that would be rude. But what I'm trying to say is, um, what is it, where are you in your career position, and what is the value that you find on this channel? And the reason why I'm asking that is that it really helps, me understand the audience that comes to this space, which is one of the biggest things that I am trying to do with this Do Better UX space, is really redefine it to a space that is more meaningful to the people that are there. I mean, even if it's a tiny small community of 50 to 20 people, let us have, a more meaningful conversation than some of the bigger groups that are out there. And what do I mean when I say meaningful conversations? I mean, having real conversations, sharing our real life experiences. I initially started this space mainly to chat and discuss things around, the design career path, and how can you shape your own, how can you be in your own space, and how can you navigate it, and learn from other people's mistakes, because there are a lot of people that have been in the field for a very long time that can help you navigate, whether you're looking for a job, whether sort of like going the freelance route, whether you're looking to start an agency, or whether you are just somebody who wants to become an independent consultant working with other bigger companies out there. So it's super important to, you know for me to discuss that and go back to the roots of where it all started, if I can put it that way. Let's just put on some more music in the background, so that I can pace myself. I really like playing music in the background so that it's easier to pace myself. Let's try other Harris Heller, ambient gold, white lie, mocha. Why is it I cannot find the stuff that I'm looking for? Let's look up royalty free Lofi. How about that? All right. Let's see. I'm just gonna do a random pick, and if the music gets weird, I do have like sort of explicit filters and things like that put together. So yeah, it's let's see what plays in the background and what comes through there. All right, cool. So back to the conversation at hand today. Back to what we're chatting about. So, I think it's super exciting for for everyone out there, not only for this space, to be able to take some time and redefine the space that you are in, and sort of like rethink things like, what is the reason that you're doing what you're doing for. I started this via podcast many I wouldn't say many years ago, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe even 4. Super scary. I think it was 2018, 2019 when I started the podcast, and I sort of created this space where I wanted to speak about all of these different things that are happening in this space. And and looking forward to just about 3-4 months ago, I felt a big need of just recalibrating everything and making sure that I'm doing this for the right reasons. So I think we are absolutely and totally allowed to change our interests, think about things differently than what the main sort of like trend environment is working, etc., etc. Just toning down the music a little bit there is actually becoming a little bit more descriptive than anything else. And yeah, I think within our career paths and the decisions that we make, we should be able to, have the right to change what we are doing and, be able to navigate through those things that we are actually doing. So I think that's super important. So moving on from that, so what do I mean by rethinking this space and having, this space more defined, more sort of like thought out. So obviously we've got a couple of more structured formats of how I'll be doing the content here. So the idea is that we're gonna have more design chatting sessions. So if you're familiar with Twitch or the streaming community, this is also coming quite a bit to what you call it, quite a bit to the YouTube space as well. Not so much on the LinkedIn space, but there is a whole just chatting category that's out there, and I thought, why don't we create just design chatting category so that we can talk about design topics and other things that interest designers, whether it's products, news of software, etc., etc. So that is what this segment is about, and what we'll be doing, on regular channels. There is other formats that we will be experimenting with, like live conversations with, experts in the field, as well as, let me, keep the other stuff under wraps for now, and maybe we'll see how it unwraps and unpacks as we go through. So all of that actually affected our website quite a bit, because we've been trying to redefine how our website looks like. I keep on hitting the mic, Jesus. All of that really affected how our website works, and how we had originally structured our website, and some of the things that we want to be able to offer, such as courses and sort of like closed mentorship groups and places that designers like you can interact with other designers that are interested in similar things that you have and are interested in. So there is a lot of stuff around just reconfiguring the content space that we're in, the podcast, the live streaming sessions mainly. We hardly create sort of like video content. I feel like live content is way better, because I just feel like it's way more authentic. You can see how I'm feeling today. You can see sort of like a lot of things within the thing, and also it allows me not to necessarily just roll down a script and speak through a video, but actually speak out my mind on some of the things that I want to speak about. So I think that's super important, and that's why I want to create most of this content in this live format. Anyway, let me not digress. So yeah, I think we're really in the space of rethinking this space. If you're part of the community, great. We mainly running it over on LinkedIn right now. We experimented with Discord some time ago. Let us know if you're watching this in the comments below. What is what sort of like software or platforms do you use for your community space? Is it Discord? Is it Slack? Is it LinkedIn that you feel more comfortable to be groups in? I think those are the options that we're looking at currently to expand our conversations and our communities in, so that if we base them in those spaces, it'll be easier for people to join our groups and spaces and be able to share their experiences, because it's something that they already know and they're familiar with. So let us know in the comments below after watching this, if wherever you're watching it, since we're streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube. I think the YouTube stream is going great. I can see that the streaming health is excellent. The attendance is there. Not so many people are there. I can see that the LinkedIn live stream is also on. Super interested of actually what's happening there. So I see it says 2 people and they sort of disappear. I'm interested to know if you're actually joining us. Just wave, say hello. I'm super interested to know what's happening on the LinkedIn side. The reason why I'm super conscious about what's happening right now is that I'm not using like a pre-built platform like Restream or whatever it is. I'm using OBS and a custom plugin to stream to both places. So yeah, I'm super interested to see what's happening over on LinkedIn. The last time I tried to stream on LinkedIn, I got cancelled because I did a test stream, and I think it was under the rules and regulations, the terms and conditions for the stream. They actually say, on the stream you're supposed to stream for more than a certain time. I don't know if they have an audience limit or sort of like a participation thing, or but yeah, I think it's a super exciting place to be streaming right now. I've wanted to stream on LinkedIn for a very long time, and it came and went for me, and now it's back again, and I'm experimenting with it as a secondary place that will be streaming these live streaming sessions, but mainly it will be on YouTube as usual, as we've normally done. Cool. So we spoke about the website. We spoke about sort of like the intent and the cleaning up of the space that we'll be doing. We'll also be cleaning up the very small community that we have on LinkedIn. Currently our LinkedIn group has got different people in there, and not saying that we don't want more people in our community, but I think the purpose of it is to really engage and share our experiences as designers and thought leaders within our industry. There, I know that for sure and certain that some of the people within that group are very experienced, and some of the people in that group are not so experienced within their exclusive design careers, whether that might be UX design, whether that might be product design, or whatever it might be. And I think it's super important for us to say that we have a community that we actually contribute and share our experiences and ask questions that we want to do there. So we will be doing a lot of engagement over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, and just trying to really grow the conversation and clean up the participation. I think it's better to have a community of 150 people that are super engaging and you can really learn and share from, and it feels like family, than having a community of over 3,000 people that you don't relate to, and there's just sort of like marketing and advertising and a lot of spam being shared on the group, and there isn't a lot of moderation that is happening there. So that is more of the direction that we're going with the space. I know it sounds like it's not, commercially viable and whatever, but that's not the purpose of this space. We don't it was never designed to be commercially viable. The reason why we've taken so long to actually create any courses on this space, which was, the initial idea of do better us, is to create live content and create courses that people can use so that we can support the content that we create. um it it you know it We took all this time so that we can really formulate and understand what are people looking for, what are people interested in, and what is it that works not only for the audience but also for myself and the other people that help me create this content, and bring it to you. And we really want it to be authentic, and we really want it to be something that it's not just another content marketing piece of work, but actually real content that you can get value from and content that you can engage with as well. So having said that, I'm calling up on if you're watching this and you want to contribute, whether you're a junior person or a senior person, whether you want to ask questions or you want to share some of the wisdom that you have, to comment down below, and let's have a chat. Let's share the content. Let's grow this community and add more value to everybody who watches and contributes to this content. Let me know in the in the comments below. You can contact me directly on LinkedIn, since this is being broadcasted live on my personal profile on LinkedIn. I still need to figure out a way on how to do that from the page branded company page thing. But yeah, this is still very much an experiment. I think also over the next week, as we experiment with the other formats of the content that we have, it will also be very much an experiment as well. So super excited to see how all of that is going to go. Right, cool. So what is it that you can expect from this new place, this new space, other than the the new content structure that I've been talking about? Well, I am finally coming up with two courses that we'll be releasing over the next 2 to 3 months. I know it sounds long, but the first one will probably gonna be released over the next 3 weeks or so. So I'm super excited about that, and I hope that you stay tuned to our content to stay updated with what's happening in that space there. Another thing is that we will be launching our new website over the next couple of weeks, and that will have the lineup of the upcoming shows that we have that will be broadcasting live on the different platforms. The idea is that we want to try and broadcast on the main 3-4 platforms that we are on, and that is LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. We are kind of dropping away from Instagram Live a little bit, so it might end up being mainly YouTube and LinkedIn. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I think it's going to be a very super exciting experimental journey over the next 2 weeks. If you are part of this community and you want to be part of how it evolves and how it comes to the next stage that we are planning to have it. I keep on saying we are because there are people that I'm working with behind the scenes. Of course, I'm the face of this, and Do Better UX is really a space that I have branded, so that I don't use my personal name. But this is very much, a space where I want to create conversations and hopefully grow in the longer term, so that, it's not attached to my name, even if I want to expand it later on as we go. So join us on those social channels. Let me know in the comments below, if you're watching this after the fact or if you're watching this live, which, sort of like social media channels do you want to interact with us on, both from, sort of like regular community based engagement. As I mentioned earlier, some of the things that we're looking at there is a LinkedIn group that we already have, that we want to sort of like clean up and sort of like amplify what we're doing there. We've experimented with things like Discord, and we are very much open to, opening some sort of like a Slack community as well. The reason why we want to know where it works best for you is that, so that we don't sort of like stretch out and then, we sort of like just duplicate things across the board, that we have sort of, one place that we know that we're dedicated and everybody's comfortable to be there and contribute in that specific platform. Cool. So moving on swiftly to the next things in the conversation. Other than, the lineup and the updates on the website, etc., etc., there are a couple of things that, that really brought all of this together for me over the past couple of weeks, and that has been that I think, looking back to the impact that the content that I've been sharing here and some of the private coaching sessions that I've been having with some of the people that watch and follow this content has been really immense in their personal careers, that, as much as I did this as a side project and wanted to, share some of the knowledge, what I thought little knowledge that I had, I actually realized how much of an impact it made on other people's lives. And that way I have, really thought around creating a space where we can provide more design career content and mentorship in a format that benefits everyone without, crazy high premiums. And we'll see how that is going to play out over the next couple of weeks as we experiment with the content, types and segments that we have, as we interview some people who want to ask, career questions, and we can help them break down some of those questions that they have and concepts that they might want to have, etc., etc. And also speak to some of the career industry experts that are out there that can also help people who are just starting out in the middle of the journey, or even at the same level as they are, to navigate, to the next thing that they want to do in the career. So I just wanted to reiterate on that, because I think it's super important that we understand what is the reason, why we're doing this thing, and why, how we're working towards, the common goal that we want to work in this space. But let me move away from that and let's talk about some of the topics and things that we want to be talking in the next couple of weeks that you can expect from us. So I think there's a lot of conversation and talk around the metaverse. The metaverse. Yeah, the metaverse. I'm going there. So I think there's a lot of conversation around the metaverse, and it's it's something that I have hinted and highlighted on the LinkedIn group, that I think it's super important, apart from NFTs, that designers just, there's so many new technologies that affect the way that we design and see the reality of life, right? So if we think about things like NFTs, if we think about things like voice interactions, if we think about things like brain computer interfaces, Neuralink, right? It's all really, sort of like in super interesting, super, it really reshapes and redefines the way that we think about design, right? So whether you're a fan or not of the metaverse, I think over the next couple of weeks we are gonna be diving deep into some of the design trends and topics, and see if we can speak with some people that are within that space. And well, if you're watching this and you've got some knowledge to share, well, let's link up and chat. Feel free to contact me, whether it's on LinkedIn or on Twitter. I think that's mainly where I am. Or if you can find my email address anywhere else on the internet, or on my personal website. But anyway, I think the metaverse is going to be one big part of what we will be talking about over the next, couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so. Other topics that we want to explore is something that was inspired by a conversation that I had with one of my coaching students over the past week or so. I forgot when exactly, but I was having a conversation with a young lady who is transitioning from basically a very junior role, from starting out, and we're discussing the differences between having a job, freelancing, doing consulting work for specific agencies, which is part of freelancing, and the next level, which is running an agency, and what are the options and sort of like directions that she might take for her to be able to earn more money and actually do the work that she is interested in doing. And just from my own personal experience, I've sort of like dived in all of the areas, sort of like full-time employment, freelancing. I did a little bit of the agency work as well. Most of them didn't work out, and I've settled on what I am doing today, which is mainly consulting for other agencies that are out there. And that is what has been working for me. I mean, depending on what your ambition is and what your intention is, and what your appetite is to manage teams or just manage your own personal work and your clients, where that where your specific mileage is, that may vary depending on person to person. So I think it's super important for us to be able to understand what works for us, what doesn't work for us, etc., etc. Um, so yeah, that would be quite a bit of um, I don't think a topic, but a tone of conversation around any of the things that we'll be talking about over the next, again, couple of weeks to a month, as I'm talking about, conversations that are lined up. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, and you want to be part of those conversations, whether just from an audience, you don't have to be part of the discussion, the live discussion actually featuring on the channel, for you to be able to ask questions. You can just be part of the chat, and we can have the conversation there. Feel free to consider subscribing to the channel or following me on LinkedIn wherever you're watching this, so that way you don't miss out on any of the sort of like updates that might be coming through. If you want to get way more value than just subscribing to the channel, consider joining the LinkedIn group if you are on LinkedIn already. If you're not, I would recommend that you join LinkedIn if you're somebody who wants to have more of a career discussion. I think LinkedIn is the career platform, career social media platform after all. I don't know how to define it actually, but anyway, I think you get my drift and what I'm trying to say there. So we'll be talking quite a bit about design career growth, the freelance space, the job space, as well as the agency and consulting space, and how you can navigate those different areas, right? Oh, I haven't done this in a very long time, and I can feel my throat drying up more and more. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's just the talking for a long time or whatnot. But I'm really e- excited about this, and I'm really enjoying this. Solo conversation with myself today. Mainly, I can see that there's really low turnout, but that is not going to stop me from speaking about the things that I want to speak about, because I think it's super important that even if you're watching after the fact, that you understand the direction of where we're going with especially this just design chatting conversation. This will be the type of format that you should expect, maybe with a couple of more, you know, topical conversations, topic specific conversations, and, maybe sharing information and bites of information from other sources, etc., etc. If you are familiar with the just chatting category of live streaming mainly on Twitch, you would understand what I'm talking about. So it's a long open podcast conversation, type of conversation, where we'll explore different topics as we go. Another thing that has become a reality, especially for me, if you have been seeing my background, it has been evolving for probably like a year and a bit now. It's remote working, right? I think with the pandemic and now with other things that I don't want to talk about that are happening in the world, goddamn war. I think remote work and, sort of like just decentralized ways of working are becoming more and more of a reality in our lives, and how we work, how we interact with people, how we find jobs, how we get hired, without actually ever meeting in person. I think that is becoming more and more of a thing these days than it was when it was, um, before the pandemic, if I should say that. And I think those changes and the different types of career styles and paths that we can follow have really changed over the past 2 years. And I think a lot of things have defined themselves in different ways that we can really start adopting and having discussions about. So I really want to start having conversations on this platform based on, what are the new trends in technology that affect the way that we do our work as designers? What are the things that are happening in the real world that also affect our world as designers? And, how do we navigate all of that, and have a conversation around career growth, especially the categories of, you know, are you full-time employed? Are you a freelancer? Are you sort of like doing mainly consulting work, which sort of might fall under the freelance space, or are you running your own business, basically? So I think you can start seeing how all of those different things tie up together, and we can start seeing how they correlate together and how we can bring all these conversations together. So that is just design chatting for you right there. A very rich mix of real life experimentation and experience that everybody is having, that we can share with each other to make sure that we can beat the curve to whatever we're trying to learn as UX designers, product designers, or other people in this space, however you define your current role. I think the design spectrum is quite big, and I think some of the conversations that we have on this platform don't even only affect designers. I think they're just general career conversations that can also benefit people that and might not be part of a specific design career genre, right? So having said that, having spoken about some of the things that are exciting, that I want to explore, that I want to look into, having spoken about the metaverse, and some of just sort of like general news trends and things that will be happening that I'll be talking about mainly over the next week. There's Fig Jam on iPad. There's that whole conversation of Figma on iPad that I'm really keen to talk about. That will be coming up in the next week. There is a lot of things that we're looking forward to talk about. But what I want to know is, what are you interested in hearing on this platform? What are you interested in talking about? Because remember, the content is live. We are engaging live between me and you right now. We are engaging live, whether you're watching this after the fact, as you message, I know exactly what you're talking about with, which piece of content you add, and we can engage in that way. So it's really real life, contextual learning. So let me know, what content are you interested in us talking about on this platform, other than what I've mentioned already, which I think covers quite a big range of things that I hear, whether it comes from design trends, career, navigational topics, remote working, and how the world is actually affecting us. Let me know what you're interested in. What are you interested in hearing on these open chatting sessions? Today's one was a very short one, maybe long, after not doing it for such a long time, and also maybe long because I don't think it adds any value. If you're watching this after the fact and you've watched it all the way up to this end, thank you so much. please do definitely like it, because there's no other way that you would have watched it all to the end if you didn't like it. um but yeah, it's really exciting to be back. It's exciting to be here in this space again, live streaming, broadcasting to the world. I think the world that we live in the terms of the internet age, is super interesting, and the opportunities there are super great. And yeah, I'm super excited to be back here. Other than all of the other things that I was speaking about and what has been happening in my life, I would like to thank you for joining me for this live design streaming session. I really need to get to the point where I can call it just chatting, just design chatting session, and get used to the things around what I'm doing. So I see that there's somebody who has joined us, and there's a comment on on YouTube. So let me get that. So from Tumelo, how did you get started learning design, and what's your design process? Woo. All right, so I think that's a loaded question, Tumelo. So um, I I am a very much self-taught learner. So I learned most of my things on platforms like this that we are on right now, and that's why I'm super passionate about having a platform like this where I can share the knowledge that I have, because this is the way that I've managed to learn. Because if you look 15, 20 years ago, especially in South Africa, where I'm based, I'm guessing Tumelo, you're also based here in South Africa, or somewhere within Southern Africa at least. Um, there wasn't sort of like official design certifications that you could go after, especially within the UX design space. So I started my career within the graphic design space. I evolved into a web designer. I've sort of like spoke about this in the other videos of this channel as well. I think there's a playlist on this channel called Getting Started in UX Design or something like that. That has got a series of videos that you can actually watch, that I've explained quite a lot about my journey. But basically, in short, I started out as a graphic designer, went into web design, got involved in something called e-learning, and yeah, I ended up in the space where I was consulting mainly in the UX design space. And what is my design process? Answering that, simply, I don't have one, right? I think design processes are very flexible. So what I have is that I've got a bag of a lot of design processes that I chop up and use according to the scenarios that I need to solve for. So if I'm working with a low budget client that needs just a specific piece of work, maybe it's quick discovery and prototyping of a certain product, I would use something like a design sprint or whatever it is. But I'm also flexible in working in sort of like agile teams and other things like that, with bigger organizations and corporates out there. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with design processes. So basically, I don't have one that I stick to. I chop up and use all of the things that I have in my bag to be able to address the situation that I have at hand at that point. So I hope that answers your question. Moving on, I think I was at the point that I was closing up of today's session, actually. So I wanted to thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Tumela, for throwing that question in there. So much appreciated. I'm looking forward to having more interaction with you guys over the next coming week, especially. I will be really firing up things with the upcoming sessions that we'll be doing. Awesome, Tumelo. You're welcome. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having more people. So if you're watching this after the fact and you found value and are interested in some of the things that I've been talking about today, that you can look forward to in the future, um, feel free to stay in the loop, join the conversation in the group, and I'll see you in the next one. um, yeah, God bless you and have a good one. Cheers. So thank you so much for joining.